Hello everyone, welcome back to Scotland. Winter has come to the Highlands, and after being in our new home for only a week, we have experienced extreme winter conditions and the challenges and beauty that come with it. Another beautiful snowy day, except I need to get my boots out of the car. It's not super cold today, but we've got a lot of snow to clear. And luckily we have 2 shovels. We've got a nice soft broom to get most of this stuff off the car. And then I'll switch to the scraper. We are hovering around 7.5 hours of daylight now, and that's up from 6.5 in December. And it's been a joy to watch the landscape shift back towards the light, and yet we still get the moody colors and a near constant fog in the hills, which is very mystical and magical. I've been enjoying our weekly trips into Inverness for our shopping, and I think I mentioned last week how nostalgic it feels to be back in this area. There are so many beautiful walks around this area that I can't wait to do as soon as it warms up just a little. What are you doing? Yeah? Oh, it's too bright. What a beautiful day. Very crispy. I've got to take out the recycling. I'm just trying to clear out the house so it doesn't feel quite so cluttered. I'm sure some of you have been wondering, this van is not ours, it's our friends who let us borrow it for our move, but we will be returning it soon. Recycling week, so we gotta do it. This is our Christmas tree. Didn't quite moved in time to decorate, but next year we will. Champion of champions. As we settle into the new house, it's very cathartic to unpack and put things in their place, to take stock in what we're carrying forward into this next chapter. It seems like my days are measured in boxes unpacked, cups of coffee, and crispy walks outside. As for my home studio, it's been a dream 10 years in the making, to own my own space and be able to do anything I want to it. So I'm not rushing the process, and the transformation will be great, but for now, I just need it to be usable, since we have monthly obligations to my Patreons, and Wolfie needs a space to work to pack orders from the web shop. My chronic back pain during the move has been pretty terrible, so I've been forced to slow down again and drip feed myself projects that I can actually handle, which means a much slower progress than I normally would like. But I'm learning that this is the perfect time of year to slow down and match the rhythm of nature and nest. And now more than ever, I have a deep longing to set roots and rediscover what home means. I had to show my cowl that I made a while back. This is the Time After Time cowl, and I love it. I used big chunky yarn. It looks really good in natural light. If it's doubled up, it has like a thicker, nicer, cozier feeling. Or you can wear it longer. You can kind of drape it how you want or twist it how you want, so it's kind of versatile. So one side has the clean knit look, and the other side has this fun rib. Something that I want to do more this year is make time for daily reflection, what's happening in my mind, my emotions, because I can easily feel very scattered because I have so many projects going on, and I've never been good at journaling. I mean, I'm good at journaling, but I don't keep up with it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look how beautiful this is. What's inside is what I actually ordered. But this is so pretty, this case. So here we go. It's called the Moon Phase Studio Moon Journal. It is filled with artwork and stories and ideas and things that help you stay in tune with the phases of the moon. The wheel of the year is another thing that I focus more on rather than like typical religious holidays, tied more to nature, more druidic principles. So like you've probably heard of Samhain and Yule, but there's pages for reflection. It does have a little bit of like zodiac stuff. It also has little tips and things for tracking patterns of all different kinds. Obviously track my cycle and how that affects me physically and emotionally. There's obviously calendars in here, so it's got kind of everything. A lot of it is just about the daily ritual of checking in with myself. So we'll see how it goes. Another thing that I am very excited about this year, another ritual-based thing, is a yarn subscription. I've never done this before. I mean, I just started knitting for real this year, or this past year, later in the year. Anyway, this is a box that will arrive once a month, and it is filled with a surprise selection of yarn based on the British Isles. It's by Blue Fern Yarns. At first I was thinking I would save all of them and then do like one big pattern with them in December. But now I'm thinking I'm gonna open it each month and make something throughout the year, but work on it little by little. So it'll be a monthly ritual to add to it each time I get the new yarn. So let's see what colors they sent for January. Ooh. Scottish Highlands. This is the Scottish Highlands 2026 January Yarn Duo. Classic DK, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 45 meters per 20 grams. This reminds me so much of heather in the fields, like the pop of pinkish purple with the beautiful deep blues and greens and purples. Oh, I'm so excited. So I did pick out a few patterns that involve changing colors a lot, and some of them have more like stripy kind of theme. Some of them are more integrated. Another idea is to make a blanket and use one base color all year, and then these would be like the special highlight colors or additional colors that I use. I can't decide. I feel a bit overwhelmed with the idea of making a blanket because it's just a lot. But if I'm spreading it out throughout the whole year, that could be like a way for me to manage it. So we'll see. But yeah, love. I especially love that bluish green. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Okay, I just noticed the light is coming through the tree and it is absolutely gorgeous, so I need to take you out and show you. Wow. Light. This is so magical when you get this warm glow of light coming through the landscape lifts my spirits so much. Isn't it so nice to be cozy in like chunky sweaters and scarves, and the air is a bit chilly, but you feel warm? I think it just makes me happy because it's like it feels normal to me as I grew up somewhere where there's lots of snow. And if it's just cold and dreary and wet and gross but not snowy, it feels like kind of a waste. And I know we won't get snow here all winter, so I'm just embracing it and soaking it all in while it's here. I'm sure we have plenty of gray, cold, yucky days without snow ahead of us, so yeah, this is nice. The light is so pretty. Love walking in the snow. It's so silent except for the birds. So we've got a leak. The coldest day of the winter so far, and the snowiest. There's a slow drip in the kitchen, and Wolfie's up in the attic, or there's like a boiler room kind of thing up in the upper floor, and he's in there trying to figure out where it's coming from, and he thinks he found it, but it looks like it's coming from the boiler. Thankfully, it's just like a very, very slow leak. Obviously, the longer you have a leak, the more likely you are to get mold and other problems, so we just need to get it sorted really quick. So I'm outside doing things to distract myself because there's literally nothing I can do more than I've already done. I wanted to show you the conservatory. This is a lovely big conservatory we have on the front of the house, and because the house is warmer and there's more moisture in there, the inside of the single pane glass gets coated in the moisture, and then as it gets colder out, it's freezing. So this morning when I woke up, this was all ice, and the top is covered in snow, which I think is like kind of insulating it more in there. The one good thing about this conservatory, is that it kind of protects the front of the house, and it keeps it way, way warmer. It protects it from all the storms and the very cold winds. As we are just moving in now, in the coldest, darkest time of the year, we're using it as a chance to, we're looking at as like our discovery time, figuring out the quirks of the house, like how does it handle the darkest, coldest, wettest time of the year? Like all the problems we discover during this winter will serve us really well moving forward, because I don't really want to renovate a lot and then find that we have to like tear it back to the bones to fix something, like if there's certain plumbing that's needs to be replaced, we'll probably get all the electrics replaced anyway, because we know electricians and they're like certified to do it how we want it. Anyway, we don't want to like fully renovate and make it all nice and then have to like fix stuff, obvious stuff in the future, where if we just live in the house for a while, this first winter especially, and make note of all the things that go wrong, because I'm sure there will be plenty, then I think we can have a better plan, a stronger plan moving forward. as much as it makes me anxious to know all the things that go wrong, it also empowers me because then I just know what I'm working with. And when it does get fixed, I know that it's fixed and I feel safe and secure about it. One of the things that I've planned that is going to be a big job, maybe years in the future, is to completely gut the upstairs. Take down all the walls, all the way back to the outer walls, because there's currently like a little crawl space around the whole upstairs that goes down to the eaves where the roof slants. And tear all that out, get all the old insulation out because it's very, very old and like disintegrating. And also, there were mice in there, so they made nests in there. They're all gone now, but like when you have remnants of them, it's not nice. Completely clear that out. I'm gonna buy super, super thick. Sorry, I get distracted by the birds. Super, super thick, lovely, like rock wool or, new insulation. Re-insulate where we need it, and then fully finish the upstairs, like ceiling, walls. We're going to gain so much more storage space that way if we build all the way to the eaves. Re-insulate it is going to really, really help with the energy. We're going to install a bathroom upstairs. So we probably will have a plumber more or less redo the plumbing that goes from the boiler upstairs to the downstairs as well, because I think it's just old and it was done in a weird way. Like it goes around and through things that I don't think it needs to. It's like getting the specialist in to clear all the old insulation and all of that stuff is going to be pricey. And then obviously the plumbing is going to be pricey. The building side of it, we can do ourselves. We will need help for some things, but like putting drywall up and, putting studs in and things like that is fine. And I know how to research all the codes and make plans and do all that kind of stuff from my design degree. So we don't need to hire someone to do everything for us. And we have friends who have renovated their own properties who can help us. We have electrician friends. We have people in our corner. Going to be exciting in the future. But until then, we are just going to do our best to keep the house from, falling apart. Right now, it's a nice, just cozy space aside from the leak. I'm gonna go in and have a coffee now because I am freezing. All right, we're going up to show you the nasty boiler room. Okay, so
the leak was coming from here. So basically, it goes, see that, because I did the video call.
Well, maybe.
But also, he says that we need to clean this out.
Clean what out?
This condensate trap. So
behind all of these walls, where the ceiling slants down and meets the wall, like all of that is empty. And so when we gut this upper floor, I'm gonna reclaim all of that space in the wall and use it for storage and all sorts of things. And that will give us a lot more space for an ensuite up here. This is the guest room, and we have these beautiful skylights. There's a lot of skylights on the upper floor, and they all need to be replaced because they're old and wooden. Nice open skylight coming down into the stairwell, which we love, because without any lights on in here, it's really bright. This is the man cave. Between taking out all these walls, pushing this back, there's definitely space for an ensuite and so much more up here. So She's done. So this is the fun side. And then this is the side that kind of gets tucked in. And you can wear it in various ways, but overall this is the size. So my idea is to place this part on the front. So basically you have the majority of the fun part showing. It's smaller than I expected because I thought it was a shawl, like a proper full-length shawl, and I guess you could just keep knitting it and make it bigger and bigger, but I ran out of yarn. So this is mine. It's more like a scarf or like a little neck wrap. It's warm, it's a little cozy, but it is a little thinner than I thought. So I'll be using it more in like probably the spring and the early autumn. But yeah, it's cute. And I kind of wish I made these bigger. The cool thing I'm learning with knitting is that the more you do it and you memorize the different types of stitches and the way things look as you stitch, like how now I know how this is actually achieved, you can customize it. So now I know next time I do this, I can make these like zigzag parts bigger and more substantial, more noticeable, maybe more pointy. I kind of want to knit it with like a DK size yarn. Sock yarn has some nylon in it, so it's a little more like sturdy. But I kind of want to have another version of this, maybe with thicker, like fluffier wool. So this is my next project. Any guesses? Never done one of these before. It's only partially done, obviously. So this is going to be a hat, and this was only like 3 hours maybe, but that's because I redid it maybe 4 times already. And it's crochet. It's a free YouTube video, and it's so easy. It's gonna have like a dual color kind of thing. I'm completely customizing the pattern to do this because this is not how the pattern tells you to do it. I needed an easy win after this piece because this took forever. It took a little over a month, but I was moving during that time. Also, I don't have a big fluffy hat that's colorful, so I thought that could be a good option.
As long as possible, as long as she writes and records.
I thought I would take some time to answer questions I had in the previous video. I also want to welcome all of the new subscribers. I saw that we had a few thousand new subscribers, which is insane because my channel has grown very slowly over the years because I don't post constantly. And I think we were sitting around 9,000 to 10,000 for a long time. And then all of a sudden I looked at it and it was over 12,000. So I don't know, if you're here for the moving, the house, the Scotland, everything. Hopefully you're here for everything because I do everything. But welcome. I hope you enjoy the videos and they give you a little glimpse of what it's like to live in Scotland and a little bit of peace. If you go back and watch some of the older videos, you'll learn more about us. But a quick intro to us. I lived in Colorado for the 10 years before I moved to Scotland. I was traveling through Scotland, met Wolfie, and the reason we call him Wolfie is because when we met, his hairstyle and obviously beard and everything, he looked just like Wolverine to me. And the nickname just stuck. So over time, he's just Wolfie. So anyway, yeah, we met randomly on a train. And long story short, dated long distance. I moved to Scotland, we got married, and I've been here ever since. And I'm a full-time artist and photographer and just creator, and work from home. A few years ago, I officially got my permanent residency here, which took a long time. A lot of paperwork, a lot of money. And a couple of years ago, I also hired Wolfie as my partner in business, my business administrative director slash assistant slash does all the things I hate doing, like accounting, and he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff like packing orders and yeah, all sorts of stuff. Sorry, Floki just came over and meowed at me. We have 2 cats. This is Floki. You've seen our other cat, Akira, in a lot of the clips because he's very social and he's clingy and he's constantly with me. I am kind of an interdisciplinary artist. I paint, I draw. Back in time before Scotland, before the internet, I did ceramics and stained glass and all sorts of different things. And I really would love to get back to doing a lot of those things. I would like to learn how to refinish furniture, how to make custom things. So that's another huge reason I'm very excited for the projects in this house, because I like the idea of DIYing because it saves money and because you can customize it, but you will learn so many new skills. I love learning new skills. It's one of my favorite things about being a human. I've never really gotten into sewing. I owned a sewing machine in Denver for years and never even opened the box. I even bought fabric and things and I had good intentions, but I don't know, something about it intimidates me. But I also do embroidery and felting and all sorts of fiber type arts. It's just that I haven't had space for it for a while. I quickly realized that I cannot do it near Akira because he is obsessed with wool and yarn. He eats it, and that's not good. So I have to have a closed off space with a big enough table, big enough area so that I can do it properly. And I finally have that. So I'll definitely be getting more into that. I also run a separate YouTube channel specifically for my art, painting and drawing and that. I just feel like there's so much I want to tell you, but I guess you'll just learn about it over time in the videos. Anyway, I just want to thank you for being here. And again, I hope you enjoy a little bit of Scotland. I think I saw a few people asking, what are the first 3 projects we're going to do to the house? The topic of renovation or, sharing our plans could be an entire video on its own. But the thing is, we aren't quite ready to commit to any one thing because we're kind of in limbo. We are waiting on our friend who also is an electrician to have a bit of time because they are going to come help us redo the wiring in the house. Probably in maybe late February or March. And until then, we can't do anything to the ceilings, walls, or floors because they probably need to get into those places, like drilling into the wall or floor or ceiling to put wiring in, to put lights in and all of that stuff. And it would be a nightmare if we refinish a room and then, oh, by the way, I have to, dig out your wall or your ceiling. It's like we might as well wait so we can get the electrics and the lighting and everything we want. We're also kind of in limbo because one of the projects we thought we were going to do sooner rather than later is the fireplace. But it turns out it's much worse than we thought. They basically need to rebuild the fireplace, which involves tearing out the whole thing, re-insulating it, doing the fire brick, doing all of the specialty fire stuff, the flue, probably a new slate hearth, or I don't know exactly the finishes yet, but new mantle, and obviously new fireplace because there's no existing stove. We are going to need to save up for a while for that. Probably do that next autumn. Don't really want to do anything in this room yet because we probably will be removing the wood paneling in this room. Not in every room, but in this room. I want to paint, obviously. We're going to install carpets. I don't really want to get the carpet installed until the hearth is done. That area of the room, the fireplace, needs to be kind of done before I do the finishes. I can, however, work on the media wall. We're going to be DIYing, building a media wall behind me. So installing shelving, an area for the TV, for the console, for all the stuff. We have basically a year to do that before the fireplace, and then we can properly refinish this room. One of the projects I knew we would have to do sooner rather than later is my studio. First of all, again, I need to wait until we do the electrics. I need way more outlets in there. I need better power because I have a lot of stuff to plug in. I'm not too worried about lighting in there because I have the huge south-facing window. I also have 2 freestanding studio lights. You can customize the temperature and the brightness. So after the electrics are done in there, I mentioned in the last video that I want to do laminate in there because I want to protect the floors. And people asked, why don't you just varnish the floors? And I agree, I would love to just varnish the floors and have nice hardwood floors in there. But the thing is, and this is the reason we're doing carpet in this room and the bedroom, we lose a lot of heat through the floors, because it's the standard where you have a cavity under the floor that has airflow, which you need to avoid damp. If it's just solid wood floors and it's not insulated under, which is very rare that it would be insulated underneath, you just have open air flowing. And yes, on one hand, that helps with breathability and you avoid damp. On the other hand, it's cold in the winter. Even though I wear slippers everywhere, I still want to, make the house as efficient as we can. The idea is to not only protect the floors from my spilling of paint and dropping of heavy things and all of that and scuffing the floor with, I have rolling desks and rolling carts, and those are going to definitely scrape up the floor over time. But it's also to make it more comfortable, more insulated, more efficient, because this house is very big and older, so it doesn't have amazing insulation. And we already are experiencing the consequences of that, which is a large heating bill. We'll get the insulation improved over time. We'll have a fireplace eventually, but this winter is more expensive because we're just figuring it out. I just ordered a steamer, a wallpaper remover, so that I can remove the wallpaper in there. And I'm also playing with different colors, paint colors. And as soon as the electrics are done, that's happening. So I'm going to brighten it up in there. I'm also going to add some color to one or two of the walls, just make it a little warmer and cozier. Oh, back to the floors. The solution in the meantime, because I can't quite afford to buy all of the laminate yet, the solution for now is to just have rugs in there. So I ordered a giant rug that will cover most of the floor, and it's much better than bare wood. It's not ideal, but it's better. And I don't care if it gets messy. I think as soon as we get the garage organized and get some of the stuff that's inside back out there, organize it nicely, as soon as I know where things are, that way I can also finish organizing my studio. It's all tied together, so I gotta take it one day at a time, just do what I can when I can. Once some of the renovation projects start, of course, I'll be able to show you some nice progress, which is going to be very satisfying. All right, I think it's time for breakfast. So yeah, I need to get up and move a little. Here. So we figured out that the leak was caused by the pipe that leaves the combi boiler freezing at the exit point of the eaves. So that pipe up there, the small pipe that leaves the eaves, is the one from the boiler. And that one froze and cracked the pipe. And I think it just froze so much that it was backing up back towards the boiler. So that part was overflowing. And now the pipe goes into a bucket, and we're just emptying the bucket every couple days until this freeze is over, and then we will fix the pipe, insulate it so that we don't have to worry about this in the future. Home ownership. It's time to feed the birds because I have not fed them in like 3 days. It's just been so wet and nasty out and windy and terrible. Ooh, you're just following me around as I try not to slip. very cozy on the couch right now. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it is sideways, just bucketing down all day. This is so cozy. So I'm getting lots of work done, being very productive, which is nice. And I'm only on my second cup of coffee. I've got my Adirondacks mug today, bringing back good memories. Finish the hat. Now we're just doing the shelves to get the boxes off the floor at least. Wolfie's workout this year is going to be moving things. You said it, right? It's your workout. In my next video, we will be tackling the garage, and I am very much looking forward to having access to all of our new tools and maybe even starting some of the projects in our queue. So until then, I hope you all stay well, and I will see you soon. Take care, everyone.